Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good time zone. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright Justice for All. I apologize if I sound a bit low energy today. I stayed up a bit late last night trying to finish Dragon Age the Veilguard. Ended up finishing it today instead of last night. I got to bed late, and then it's been a very warm day today, and it's just kind of a combination of warm and sleepy and a bit humid as well. But we have some trialing to do. We just got into the first part of the trial, so let's load this up and see where we're at. March 22nd, 9:47 AM, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Adrian did it. That's what it looks like. Dude, no way. That woman couldn't do anything like that. In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you. A mountain of evidence? I'm certain there's someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you. Please, Mr. Lawyer, dude, like I said yesterday, I'm refreshing like a spring breeze, alright? I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that. I understand. Well, it's almost time. I don't know who this is going to be. Oh god. Mia. Hi, Mia. We must get a complete acquittal today. I know, but I can't focus on Maya's situation right now. Or Pearl's either. No matter what, I have to focus on winning this case by the end of the day. Indeed. Well, let's get going. It's him. This is Wright. Good morning. This is it, Mr. Attorney, the day of the trial. Maya, she's unharmed, right? Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how shall we say, tired. Don't worry, people don't die that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial. Grr. For my sake, as well as yours, you must win today's trial. Which is why I sent you a little present this morning. Present? What in the world would you want to give me? You'll figure it out once the trial starts, and even if you don't like my gift, I expect you to graciously accept it and win the day's contest, if you please. Wait. The kidnapper sent me a present. Mr. Lawyer, dude, who was that? Oh, no one. It has nothing to do with you, so forget you heard anything. Dude, did your nose just get longer? March 22nd, 10 AM, District Court, courtroom number 3.
Court is now in session for the trial of Matt on guard. Are the prosecution and defense ready?
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Ms. von Karma?
I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me? Your Honor.
Please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. If you must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, what is it?
Prosecutor von Karma has... This morning, Ms. von Karma was shot by an unknown gunman. Oh, Jesus. Was that his gift to us? Because if so, he can fuck off all the way to the sun.
What?
Shot. Somehow. I think this is the present that man was talking about. Yeah, I thought that too. His present. Ms. von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she were to disappear, it would be to your advantage. This is totally insane. Ms. von Karma, is she alright?
I don't have that answer.
She's alive and in stable condition. I think I know who this is as well.
That's good. Phew. You're
I thought he'd show up. Yeah, me too. Your Honor, due to the circumstances, Miss Francisca von Karma cannot appear in court today. I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking her place. The prosecution is ready, naturally. Why is he on the witness stand then? Unless that was just to introduce himself. Ms. von Karma was shot in her right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery. Was right shoulder where her dad was shot? Good old Mr. von Karma from the previous game. I think so. I think he was shot in his shoulder as well. Luckily, I have looked this case over and am familiar with the details. The prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Matt Engard.
The court acknowledges the prosecution.
Right. I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year. By the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer. Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand.
Witness, your name and occupation.
My name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective down at the precinct for now.
For now?
After this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge, sir.
Detective Gumshoe? The prosecution has no need for a depressed witness. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Dick Gumshoe.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's have your testimony. If we want to explore the various facets of this case, we must start with that. Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one very rough fight. Yeah, it would have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent. The answer he was struggling for. Interesting. Show me this answer you finally found, Edgeworth. Bare facts of the case.
Not the bears again. This murder happened after the Hero of Heroes award ceremony, sir. The victim, Juan Corrido, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, we believed he was definitely murdered, sir. At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder.
That's very specific.
After the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room.
Yes, sir. Both the victim and defendant went alone to their rooms, sir.
I see. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Here we go. So let's press on everything like normal. I don't think we're getting punished for that at the moment. Would you please give us a brief timeline of what happened after the ceremony?
Okay, pal. The ceremony started at 6 PM. It ended around 8 PM, and then there was a short break. The special post-ceremony show was supposed to start in the lobby 30 minutes later.
And that's when the victim's body was found, correct? Which is to say, the murder occurred during that 30-minute break period.
Please continue with your testimony, Detective.
The victim, Juan Corrido, was found dead in his hotel room.
The person who discovered the victim's body was Adrian Andrews, correct?
Yeah.
Who is this Adrian Andrews you're talking about?
She's the defendant, Matt Engard's manager. She's a really pretty lady, sir.
Ah, so she's a pretty lady. I wonder if she will grace us with her presence.
When the post-ceremony show was about to start, she went to get Mr. Engard. After visiting his room, she next went to the victim's room to get him for the show, sir.
I see. And that's when she found the victim's body.
After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir.
The cause of death, wasn't that because Mr. Corrido was stabbed in the chest?
Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal. Take a good hard look at the crime photo. Now, a real pro's attention would be drawn here to this banana. I almost read that as bandana.
Banana.
Oh, no, I did say bandana. His bandana, sir. That's this thing wrapped tightly around his neck, sir.
Ah, yes, I see. His banana-scented bandana.
Then what about the knife?
It seems to have been stuck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death.
We have a crafty murderer on our hands here.
Okay. Strangled with a scarf and then stabbed with a knife. But stabbed after he died. And why did you think that?
Because it was empty, pal. The jamming ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar. And we couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime.
Oh, and how about this theory? The fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it. How's that?
We thought of that too, but the only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims.
Only the victims, huh?
I see. So much for my theory then.
Guitar case updated in the court record. Okay.
However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. This is the bit I'm interested in. Oh.
Sorry, the yawning has started already. What convinced you it had nothing to do with the case?
The guitar wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night.
Well then, where was it?
The bright
Red guitar? Yeah, I'm really good at talking today.
The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. The victim, Juan Corrido, had apparently only taken the case with him, sir.
So you mean he forgot to put the guitar inside the case?
Yes, sir. Even when he was on stage for the ceremony, he didn't have his guitar.
So that guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel?
Yeah, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with the case after all.
I believe that is enough. First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana, not his banana. Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Matt on guard? Because there was reason enough to suspect him. Here it comes. It's like Edgeworth's back in full swing.
Very well. Detective Gumshoe, please testify about this matter.
Yes, sir.
Why arrest on guard?
Matt on guard and Juan Corrido were huge rivals with each other. They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's motivating.
Sorry. I don't think it helps that I've got two kind of breathy voices to do. Gumshoes isn't too breathy, but it's like, it just triggers yawns in me, apparently.
That's motive enough in my book. As for evidence, there's the Jamming Ninja's button. It was ripped off of the ninja costume and was found in Mr. On Guard's hakama. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. The defendant brought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder.
So the defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife used in the stabbing.
It was sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly, sir.
Knife added to the court record.
And there's this button.
That was found in the defendant's clothes, was it? And is this button also covered in blood?
Yes, and we know that the blood on it is the victim's blood, sir.
What? Jamming Ninja's button added to the court record.
All of this points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it?
Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honour. Ready to give in yet, Wright? I'll find a hole in your argument somehow. You can press as hard as you like, just hurry up with your usual pointless questions.
Grr.
Time to cross-examine. Matt on guard and Juan Corrido were huge rivals. Let's just get everything out in the open. But in terms of popularity, Mr. On Guard won, did he not?
Yeah, but you know what's ironic, pal? Juan Corrida was always one step behind Mr. On Guard in everything. This year it seemed like he'd finally caught up ready for the big final showdown.
But Mr. Corrida lost the Grand Prix in the end.
That is too bad. He must have been pretty downhearted after losing.
They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough in my book.
Wait just 1 second here. Mr. On Guard was beating Mr. Corrida in the popularity polls.
Well, yeah, I guess, but...
Which means that in the defendant's eyes, the victim was not a rival at all. Which means he had no motive to kill at all.
Yes, I quite agree. Well, Detective?
It's not, well... I guess if you put it that way, then yeah, the defendant would have had no motive.
Detective, I'm beginning to see why you were fired.
Huh? Not you too, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. That's...
I look forward to your pension negotiations.
No.
No, not Gumshoe.
Now, Detective, let's continue with the testimony.
No, not my poor pension too.
Detective, if you value your money, I suggest you proceed.
Yes, sir. We can talk about my pension later, sir.
What about what I was saying? Hello? Anyone?
As for evidence, there's the Jamming Ninja's button.
Do you have any proof that that button belonged to the victim?
Oh, what do you mean, pal?
Oh, let me put it this way. I'm asking you if you have any evidence to back up your claim that this button was ripped off of the Jamming Ninja's costume.
Huh? But can't you tell just by looking at it? And the victim's blood is on it.
Anyone could have smeared that blood on there afterward.
Mr. Edgeworth, help me, sir.
Alright, I knew it had to be this piece of evidence. Now to reel this one in. Thread. Huh? The button was attached to the costume by thread, obviously. And that thread snapped when the button was torn off. If you match up the ends of the thread on the costume with the thread on the button, it's a perfect match.
Yeah, that's it. They're a perfect match, pal.
Ugh. That's Edgeworth for you. Never misses a beat.
It was ripped off of the ninja costume was found in Mr. On Guard's Hakama.
When was this button found?
Pretty soon after the body was found, we rounded up everyone who knew Mr. Corrida. And then we did a search on them all. That's when we found the button.
So it was almost immediately after the murder.
Police didn't have the free time to lollygag and play tricks, unlike some people. Hey, what's he trying to say about me here?
The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife.
How were the fingerprints arranged on the knife?
Huh? What do you mean, pal?
By examining the fingerprints, you can determine how the defendant held the knife. For example, did he hold it normally or overhand?
Oh, is that what you meant? Well, we didn't actually think of that.
I can't believe the bumbling of this department. Hopeless. Were you paying attention to the testimony, right? The defendant's fingerprints were all over the knife. There is no way to determine how the knife was held at the moment of the murder.
So is the defendant the owner of this knife, then?
Defendant bought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder.
There's no way this was a premeditated murder, even if he bought the knife.
Sorry, pal, this isn't some pocket knife. It doesn't fold, so it's not great for walking around with either.
Oh, well, this is not good. If the prosecution can prove it was a premeditated murder, we're done for. Phoenix. Yes? There's something very interesting about what the detective said just now. Think carefully before it's too late. A button covered in the victim's blood and a knife with On Guard's fingerprints. Be grateful. If the judge were more rash, he would have already pounded his gavel in closing. We're still in a world of trouble. Well, before any battle, you must find your enemy's weakness. So let's find the weakness in this testimony, no matter how small it may be, okay, Phoenix? Okay. That's fine, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. I'm not sure quite what it wants us to do here. Because the knife I just assumed was one from the hotel. I'm not quite sure if we have any evidence to say oi. There are other knives like this in the hotel, so he didn't buy the knife, but... Is there anything we can present here? I don't think it's going to be that. Yeah, so the button's missing there. We can tell. There's also tomato juice. There's the suicide reports. Gatewater is engraved in the grip. That's what we need. Okay, so we present the knife to this. Because he didn't buy the knife for the crime. Wait a second. What? So the basis of your argument was that this was a premeditated murder. It's simply that my client bought a knife beforehand. That's right, pal. The defendant did not buy this knife. Huh? Take a good look at the handle of this knife and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Huh? It has a Gatewater seal set into the handle.
Gatewater? I think I've heard that name somewhere before.
That's the name of the hotel. The Gatewater Hotel.
Uh-oh.
The murder knife was actually property of the hotel, which means this murder was not premeditated.
Yes, that is very true. This is a very big... What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless. What? I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined. How so? I admit this knife is hotel property. There is no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough not to realise this.
I didn't know. Oh.
The question is, where did this knife come from?
Why, that's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Kurita's room.
Sorry, Your Honour, but that is incorrect. The victim ate a last meal before he was murdered. With that being the case, I would like to draw the court's attention to what is on top of the table.
There's a knife and a fork on the table. Then, where in the world did this knife come from?
If it pleases the court, I would like for us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Matt on guard. Especially what was on top of his table. There is something missing. Perhaps it is a single knife? We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints, and while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Matt on guard's knife was missing. Ugh. Mr. On guard had gone to the victim's room with the knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit? To kill, of course. And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven this was a premeditated murder.
Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliantly clear deduction.
It seems like Edgeworth had this planned from the very beginning. This must be one of those traps, and I just walked headlong into it.
A murder weapon with fingerprints and a button from the victim's costume. There's quite a sizable amount of evidence here.
I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of your honest time. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defence were to present evidence not yet shown to the court. Evidence not yet shown? It means evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence.
What does the defence have to say about this, Mr. Wright?
Well, Phoenix. Judge is favouring the prosecution right now. If we answer with something wrong here, the cavalry of fizzles will be ringing out to the sound of our defeat. It means it's time to save.
Mr. Wright, do you have something important and necessary to present to this court?
I'm going to try the no, not right now. This has to be another trap. Better if I don't say anything than risk throwing out a bad piece of evidence.
Looks like the defence isn't saying a peep on this one.
Which means this court is adjourned. Phoenix, we will lose this case if you give up here. So you had better show the judge something, quick. Slow down, we all know I have a tendency to be wrong more than... I can't even say it. There's one. One piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something that this court has yet to see.
Mr. Wright, I will say this one more time. I do not feel this trial needs to continue at all. However, I'm giving you one chance, and only one.
What the judge is saying, right, is don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs here. If I mess this up, it's curtains for all of us.
You may now present one and only one piece of evidence. Now then, what is this important evidence that you must show to the court?
Possibly this one. Sorry, Wright, but this time your bluffing steered you wrong.
I can see nothing strange about this piece of evidence.
Oh dear. Wait.
I am a man of my word, Mr. Wright.
Oh shit.
That's enough. The court sees no reason to further prolong the trial. Nor is there any need for more time to decide the case against the defendant. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretation of the facts. This court finds the defendant, Matt on guard.
Guilty. Whoopsie. Whoopsie doodle.
The accused will surrender to the court immediately, to be held pending a trial at a higher court within a month from today's date. That is all. This court is adjourned.
Whoa. Let's just reload that. Actually, I do have something important and necessary. There's one. One piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something that this court has yet to see.
Mr. Wright, I will say this one more time.
Okay. Same dialogue, even if we choose that one. There's just two ways to get to the same thing. Okay, I don't think it's going to be that. Or that. Or that. I mean, it might be that, but that's a stretch. Not the guitar case. Maybe the tomato juice? If it's not this one, it's definitely not going to be that one, I don't think. Let's try the tomato juice, I guess.
This is a wine glass, is it not?
Please look at the photo of the crime scene one more time. The scene is a mess because of the victim's struggle against his assailant. The vase was broken, his makeup is all over the floor. These were all things that were at one point sitting on top of the dresser.
Well, yes, I see your point.
However, this glass that is sitting on top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that had not fallen over along with everything else is this wine glass. This piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration. Well, what do you all have to say?
Oh, well, yes, it is a little peculiar.
Yes, isn't it? I thought it was.
You can stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours now. Mr. Edgeworth,
What is it, Your Honour?
your opinion.
You don't need my opinion. Because there is no special meaning to that glass. What? It's safe to say that the glass was set there after the crime took place. By the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example. She could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking.
That does sound very plausible, Mr. Wright.
Could Miss Andrews really have set that glass down without thinking? There's no way. If I appear weak here, the trial is over. I can look for my proof later. For now, I should trust my instinct and point with certainty. It just might fall for it if you're thought-provoking enough. The defense would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. We would like to see something that proves it was Miss Andrews who set the cup on the table.
You've turned the situation on its head yet again, as usual. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim?
There's no way he has any. He's just bluffing. Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have the evidence to support it. What? You're not thinking hard enough today, right? Did you think this wine glass escaped my notice? But then... Of course it has been thoroughly inspected. Fingerprints. Fingerprints. There were only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass.
Only one? Well, whose were they?
They were not the victims nor the defendants. Rather, they were one of Adrian Andrews. They were of one Adrian Andrews. What? Wine glass updated in the court record. That is why I said that the person who discovered the body had left it there. Are we done here, Mr. Wright? Ugh, I can't believe I fell into another trap. Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Corrido. Upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down on the dresser.
What you just said makes a lot of sense.
Now, do you see, Mr. Wright? You can't change any part of my scenario as it explains everything all too well. I've thought long and hard this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor, and from here on out I will show you the answer I have come to discover.
Oh, wait a second, Mr. Edgeworth. I think the prosecution has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict.
Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet. The prosecution has yet another witness we would like the court to hear from. Another witness? Yes. Bailiff, please bring in the next witness. What in the world is Mr. Edgeworth thinking? I mean, he said he was going to help us with the case. I wonder, this is possibly a stretch, I wonder if he's thought of, like, his new reason to be a prosecutor is to find the truth. And he still enjoys being, like, a smarmy git to Phoenix. Which is why he's doing the whole, like, oh, I've totally won this case thing. But I wonder if it's going to be, he's bringing in this witness because he knows we can get an edge with her or something. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. Witness, your name and occupation, please. Sublimo. Gotcha. I wonder what happened to that calm composure he had earlier. Ooh, edgy boy, it's been what, a year since we last met, hasn't it? You should be more happy to see me. I saw the report with her testimony, but who knew that under the helmet was the Wicked Witch of the witness stand? I tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to do. So today I'm going to tell you anything and everything, even things that don't have to do with that terrible crime.
Miss Witness, that terrible crime is all this court needs to know.
Kablamo. Shush, I'm talking to my dear Edgy Wedgie right now. Don't interrupt us, Gramps.
Yes, madam.
No, please, by all means interrupt her, please. Anyway, witness, your testimony, please. It's true what they say, youth are hot-headed nowadays, not that I mind at all, Edgy. Now then, what should I start with? The witness was on security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder. Is this correct, Miss Oldbag? It was a great job, being able to see my dearie Juan. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle.
You mean you are a fan of the victim?
Look, everyone is crazy over that on guard, saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. But not me, I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him. I'm only interested in a real man, Juan Corrido. Let me just go to the profiles. Age 21, yup. But those two were the same age. Exactly what I just said, Phoenix. Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night. Very well, please tell the court what you witnessed the night of the murder. Leave it to me, Edgy Poo. God. I just witnessed a big yawn, and by witnessed I mean committed one. Anyway, after the ceremony I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. It was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. Someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. He was on guard, Matt on guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room.
So Mr. On Guard came out from the victim's room.
See, it has to be him. He's the murderer.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Let's just press on everything. Ms. Oldbag, what was your post on that night? The lobby. I was supposed to help set up the stage for that trifling show. But I refused to help, I'll have you know. It was for that lead-headed samurai's show. I even took out a few of the nails. Maybe it was a good thing the show didn't go on. Besides, that manager with the glasses seemed to be working hard at it without me. So I thought I'd take a break and spread my wings a little. And that's when you went to hang around the victim's door? There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Something you were interested in? And just what was that? It's not some little thing I can just go around telling everyone, you know. It's top secret between me and Juan. And Edgy Poo, of course.
Mr. Edgeworth, what is this thing she was interested in?
I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honour. Gossip? But should it prove relevant, we can always have it appended to her testimony later. Looks like we shouldn't force it right now.
And did the witness stay at the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time?
Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. Oh, then would you tell us the number of people who went in and out of Miss Corrido's room? I have no idea. I wasn't born so I could count things for those who didn't pay attention in class. That's why ever since I turned 20, I quit keeping track of how old I really am.
Yes, well, that would explain why your age was not included in the report.
Is it really not? Oh, it's not. Okay. Rip. In any case, the witness then saw someone, correct? That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. Who in the world was that?
I'm not allowed to say. This sort of information has to be carefully guarded from the masses, Sonny. The man that came out of Juan's room. He was...
Yes, he was.
Ah, I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud.
Oh, what I wouldn't give to have Francisca's whip right about now.
Well, I guess I can tell you, since he was such a bad boy anyway. He was on guard. On guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room.
You saw my client. Are you sure about that?
Yes, he...
Really?
Annoying brat. When I say I saw someone, I saw that person.
Why do I get a sense of deja vu? Maybe to avoid a repeat of last year, I should delve into this a bit further. The person's face. Please tell the court about the man's face in more detail.
You don't need me to tell you about his face. That soft, gentle look in his eyes and his effeminate lips. His right eye covered by his silky hair, his sparkling, shining teeth.
His teeth were shining.
Well, he's shining all around in this week's pin-up poster, dearie.
This week's pin-up? Why do you... I mean... I don't care how he looks in this week's issue. Please stay with what you saw that night.
What? On God's face is the same no matter where it is, you know, you whippersnapper.
So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way?
We'll save again. It was very important. Of course it was important, Your Honor.
Then perhaps you would like to point out what part of that testimony was important.
You don't really have to put it that way to get me to...
Mr. Wright, there is something much more valuable than a person's pride. And that is time. Please don't waste this court's precious time with worthless questions.
Yes, Your Honor. I think I just wasted his good favour. She may not remember things or be mistaken here and there, but I don't think she's lying. That's bad for us. Really bad.
But that's how the human mind is. It also has the tendency to jump off topic. She's strayed onto a few interesting side topics this time too, hasn't she? But that's what makes her a sweet old lady, right?
It's because you're not the one who has to question her. True. Okay, I think it's going to be this one. This evidence clearly revealed... Oh, no, clearly not. Okay. Dang it. Do we present Lotta here? No. Do we present Lotta here? Oh, my attorney badge? No. Let's reload. I guess it really wasn't that important after all.
Mr. Wright, do you know why we say time is valuable? If not, I suggest you learn.
You've wasted 3 minutes of this woman's youth. That was more valuable than gold to me.
Why do I suddenly feel old in the presence of her childish whining?
You may not remember things or be mistaken here and there,
But I don't think she's lying. Okay, we're back on this one. Nope. Not that either. Okay, let's reload again then. let's just go through a few things. Pace around in the hallway in front of his room. Let's just look at the evidence. We've got that one, that's fine. Let's see what all of these say. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure here. Can we press on this now? Something you were interested in? Just what was that? It's not some little thing I can just go around telling everyone, you know? Okay, that's all the same. So I don't think it is this yet. Yeah, I really don't know. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about, like, not going through Viola Hall or anything. Oh, I'm a bit stumped here. I think what I might do... It is getting really warm in my room again. Is... I think I'll finish up here. I'll have a think and come at this with a fresh and hopefully a bit cooler mind next time. Because I am melting somewhat. It is really humid here. And yeah, we will try and figure this out in the next one. Thank you so much for watching though. I really appreciate it. Bit more of a low-key one today, I think. Again, I'm kind of tired as well, so I'm just glad that I've had the energy to get an episode out to you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And I will ponder this for a while and come back at this next week and see if we can't figure something out. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will hopefully see you all in the next one. Have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.